Excuse me. Can I quit this podcast?
I told Eddie Murphy to stay in college so he'd have something to fall back on. I get great advice.
All right, I'm Peter
It's like the guy that edited that opening couldn't quite make up his mind what he wanted to use, and he just kept changing his mind. That's what it seemed like.
Complain about the opening before we even
So,
get started. Peter Bales here.
Is this our lesbian guest?
No, we had that last week. This is, look, does that look anything like a lesbian to you?
It could.
That's John Santo. He's our guest.
Hello,
this week.
Santa.
And
Hello.
Santo, John Santo.
Okay.
And he is our guest. He's a terrific comedian and impressionist. I should tell everybody who you are. Jackie, the joke man Martling, Peter Bales. And continuing on with our podcast that comes out every week with great guests. And John, by the way, does double duty. I've always thought this. He's a comedian. He's
poops in two pots.
He's a comedian and he's an impressionist. So they have a double duty.
I am glad that you separated them.
No, because an impressionist.
Because there's comedians and there's impressionists.
No, they're
because
combined
the
into
two
one.
are, no, they
a comedian, he has to write the jokes and he has to nail the impressions. That's a double duty. That's what I'm talking about. John, am I right?
I think you're right.
Yeah, thank you.
Well, you guys go ahead, gang up. You see if I care.
Now, I love impressionists, and I go.
Why don't you do an impression of somebody being funny? See, that's a low shot.
You know, I have feelings, but you don't care.
Okay.
Now,
Santos, are you Mexican?
I am not.
What's Santos?
Italian.
Santo
Italian.
Santo, John Santo.
Oh, there's no S at the end.
Not at the end. The
Ah.
last S is for savings.
Santo. Santa Claus. Donde es Santa Claus?
Now, I want to ask you.
And we worked together
We did a while ago, many years ago.
with what's his face? I like him.
It was either Eric Heft or Tommy Gooch. I can't remember which. It was in Oceanside at the Knights of Columbus.
I like the.
So you guys had a fun
He
show.
was hilarious. I never saw him before.
Okay,
He
he
was
is
good. Jackie was
hilarious.
hilarious.
And Knights of Columbus shows are always good fun.
But just don't tell people I'm back to work on Knights of Columbus.
What are you talking about? Those are great gigs.
It was a special appearance. They had to beg him to do it.
There you go.
There
Now
you
you're
go.
talking. Well, I bet my girlfriend booked that. Did Barbara Klein from Omnipop?
I don't know.
that?
Let's
If
get this
Gooch was
show
on it.
rolling.
But I
Oh,
said-
yeah, we better not
Let's
have a
get
slow
this-
start.
No, we don't want a slow start.
Quick, be funny.
I'm asking.
Do an impression of somebody, and I'll see if I can guess who it is.
So I went out to the Italian store. I bought some gabagool.
Tommy Gooch?
No, but he's a big fan of that show too. Tommy and I always send clips to each other of that
Who's
show.
that? Joe Pesci?
That's
Nope.
James Gandolfini.
From The Sopranos.
Perfect. And he nails it He nails it perfectly. That's a great
I
impression.
don't have any idea
You don't watch
what
you've watched-
Gandolfini said.
You never
Although he
saw The
came up
Sopranos?
to no, I loved it, but I didn't memorize what they all sound the
Okay.
same.
All right. No, they don't.
We did a roast, and
They don't.
Gandolfini said, "Jack, I'm gonna steal a lot of those jokes." See, I can't do an impression of him, but I know he said that to me. So
He said he was going to
That
steal
must-
some of your jokes.
we did it. We did a huge fucking Italians. We did a fundraiser for Tony.
Bennett?
You know he's in the Woody Allen movies and stuff. Tony.
Oh,
something.
Tony. He
Tony,
just passed away. Annie Hall, Alvy Singer. What
He
was
passed.
his,
No, he didn't.
Tony.
Pass away.
I can't remember his name.
No,
Tony.
but at
it's not
any
Tony
rate-
Roberts. Tony.
Tony Rock.
No, not Tony.
Close. I'm close.
But
Tony.
he was going to jail.
Yeah, I know who you're talking.
So
about.
we had a huge fundraiser at the place in
I'm looking it up.
Patterson, that the huge Italian restaurant, and it was like $100 for people to get in. It was all the Sopranos were in the audience, and every famous Italian you ever heard of, and it was me and Peasy and it was
John Peasy, who's been on our show.
Oh,
a
Peasy's
great
amazing.
dais of all these funny guys, and they raised $1 zillion, and he never went to jail, and he just got all the money. It was like, you know, it was a shakedown
Did
with
you get
roast
the name?
beef, you
Tony
know.
Roberts.
I got it right.
No,
Yeah.
not Tony Roberts. Tony,
Sirico?
no, not.
He was
not-
in The Sopranos.
Yeah, he was gone already.
Well, it was a guy named Tony, and I think that we'll
An
have
But-
Italian
but-
named Tony?
It was
You're
great. It
kidding.
was great fun, and they were all there, you know. And but I don't remember what he was very soft spoken, right? Tony.
I don't know who this is. Yeah.
He's talking about Tony Gandolfini at a benefit, saying to you he's going to steal your jokes.
Yeah, but he was soft spoken.
Well, off stage.
He was kind of soft spoken on the show too, right? Unless he got mad.
When he got mad, he got mad.
All right.
Anybody?
Angry Tony Soprano's a slightly different impression. So you
Oh,
gotta
let's
like,
hear
you gotta-
an angry.
an angry Tony Soprano.
All right.
Fuck you, Tony.
I'm trying to think of a good line.
Well, I just gave you lead-in.
I will never forgive Vito for not stepping up in this situation.
There.
that's a different-
Now I hear
Yeah.
the situation.
The situation.
Situation. Gotcha. That
All
was James Gandolfini. See, good. Well, we better pick up the pace, or
We got to
the
pick up the pace.
producer's going to be
Who
pissed off.
inspired you? What impressionist inspired you? Because, you know, Rich Little, of course, comes
Rich
to mind.
Little, definitely. And I got to do a podcast here with him. He was
You
in
did?
Vegas, yes. It was on the Laughter Saves Lives podcast
Oh, wow.
here at the
I
studio.
had no idea.
during the pandemic, and I was doing impressions with Rich Little.
Oh,
So that was
Ah.
like amazing.
that's got to be a thrill.
Like he was doing Bush Senior, I was doing Bush Junior.
Oh,
He was
oh,
doing like, you know, we just all different voices.
Bush
That's very
Jr.
cool.
is hard to do. You don't hear him often as an impression.
You don't hear that impression often,
Yeah, he
but
just,
you do hear it.
just sits there and
Guys,
scratches his head.
People like it because it's funny. Hopefully,
Yes, that's great. That's so terrific.
You realize you're insulting a former president.
I do a lot of former presidents. I do.
Actually,
Well, I guess you're excused because he's
in a
a
way-
fucking moron.
in a
you know.
way, I think he's honoring him by keeping his memory alive.
Well, you would think that.
He's not dead.
I know,
Oh,
but we're still keeping his memory
He's not
alive.
dead.
No. he's-
His father passed away recently, a couple of years ago. He died. And he's trading stories with Saddam Hussein.
Okay. No
That's
more
terrific.
sexes.
That's so good. Now, you work a lot, and you might say, thank goodness for Donald Trump, because you work a lot. He's
not as
gotta-
much as I'd like, but I work.
And he's just got to be an endless amount of material. Everything he does, everything he says.
My act would be significantly shorter if I wasn't doing Trump. I can ad lib it as Trump. I was one time I was doing a show and I was at 24 minutes into a 30-minute set, and I started to just see things, and I went 37 minutes. I went 7 minutes over my time.
Just,
Wow.
just.
But
by
I was the
ranting
closer,
as
so
him.
it didn't matter. It was
Yeah.
okay. But not like I blew the light. I was,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
You
but
know,
I went
Stephen
beyond.
Colbert started his show, and he was they were just about to get rid of him because he was bombing. And then Trump hit the scene, and he just started doing Trump 24/7 and went
Yep.
to the moon. He's been there ever since, you know, and people say, well, you know, bye, he's doing so much Trump. But you can't get enough of it because you're so
Even his
fueled by the
supporters-
anger.
His supporters laugh at your impression, I'm sure, because I've seen it.
Yeah, it's not.
And people who can't stand him laugh at the impression. It's got to be a win-win for you.
I have done DNC and RNC fundraisers
Uh-huh.
as Trump, and they love it.
Okay.
And because I don't do it as many presidents as I do, I don't do anything political. It's all them in situations that they wouldn't be in. Like I
Right.
did Trump criticizing the mayor from Jaws,
Saying he's an idiot. They should have closed the beaches. They knew it was no boating accident. Richard Dreyfuss said this was not a boating accident. So why would you open the beaches? These are stupid people.
you know.
That's
So it's not political.
that
It's
is
just
that is a
satire.
That's
a great attack. You know, or attack is the wrong word, but
that's a great,
that's a fun thing. You
that's
know,
a
to
great
go
reference.
to just go into a situation, not one he's necessarily currently screwing up, but one he would have screwed up had he had anything to do with it at the time. You know, I like
Alex Kittner would be alive today if I was the president. The great white sharks, they're not that great. I don't think they're that great.
It's just I do it because I want people of any persuasion, whether they're political, not political, it doesn't matter. I want them all to enjoy the
I'd like to
Right,
hear,
but people to enjoy an impression, they got to know the person you and
right.
and everybody knows.
Yeah, Helen Keller knows what's going on with Trump. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
You can't escape.
Can
it.
you do Donald Trump as a young man asking a girl out? What would that sound like? You can ad lib as Trump in any situation.
So what's the situation? He's asking
He's
a girl,
young man.
guy.
He's asking a girl in a club that he just met to go out with him.
Let me make one suggestion.
Yeah.
Don't ask out our last guest.
Okay.
That was last week, and she was the lesbian.
Well, you got to assume that everybody stays glued to this
Yes,
show.
They all
do.
watch the
They
show.
do,
Yes.
definitely.
So
Go ahead.
Donald Trump is a young man asking a girl on a date.
Yes.
Okay.
First of all, I'm the best looking guy in school. Okay. So you're going to get a great date and we're going to go to the best restaurant. People can't get in. It's totally packed, but I can get a reservation. And we're going to go on a great date. You can order whatever you want off the menu. Appetizers. We're not going to do the early bird. We're going to go prime time. Okay. No early birds. I'm not, because that's cheap, right? And you're the hottest girl in class, right? At 11 and a half. Unbelievable.
Can I ask you one question?
Absolutely.
How big is your penis?
Huge. The biggest.
That's not what I heard, Donnie.
Urologists have said it's the biggest they've ever seen.
Amazing.
That's a great premise. That's a good idea.
That's
Like,
yeah. You can.
it could be anything.
You could just point to a girl in the audience and say to her date, "Do you mind if Donald Trump asks your girlfriend on a date?" That'd be funny.
Somebody told me you're working on this, and
Okay.
you're working on an impression. And I know these things take a long time to learn. They're very, very difficult.
Mhm.
You know what? And I hope for the sake of our country that you're going to be using this more in the future.
Which one?
Gavin Newsom,
Rich Walker told you that.
Rich Walker, who's been on our show.
So Rich Walker actually helped me to do Trump.
Okay.
We were driving to that Skylight Diner gig
Yes.
up in Connecticut,
Yeah.
and he's like, "Who's your newest impressions?" I'm like, I don't really have an. I was doing Steve Sharippa from The Sopranos.
Yeah.
I go, that's like last year. I said, he goes, "You don't do Trump?" I go, I've been doing presidents a long time. I usually wait till at least they get the nomination.
Yeah.
This was early 2016, right? So he starts to do Trump. We call Carrie, we call Eric Heft, and
Yeah.
so by the time I got to the gig, it was a serviceable impression. It's not like I do it now, but it was okay. And that's how I started. So
Well-
he's got to coach me if I'm going to do Gavin.
Okay. You work on it, but
I need coaching.
We'll have you
He-
back again. We want to hear Gavin Newsom because he may be relevant.
Is he impressionable? I mean,
He's
he's gonna
hard.
be
does he
tough.
have? Yeah,
He's
does he
very
have?
tough. He's not distinct enough.
Yeah, that.
See,
Wow.
why couldn't James Carville run? Because I can already do James Carville,
let's hear James Carville.
who I met actually
You met
once.
him?
I met him once at a,
Really?
at
Oh,
a-
I hope he
at
lasts
an
a
aviation
while.
convention.
Oh,
How old? He's got to be 80, right?
He's up there.
he's up there.
Oh,
That
hope
was
he lasts a
08 I
while.
met him. And well, first of all, we got to focus on the issue over there because they're running around the country telling them this over here, this over there. Have you seen the polling? Have you seen the latest poll? I said to this guy, "Are you out of your stupid mind? You got to look at the polling. This is not popular with the people. So you got to pivot and quick because the midterms are going to be here before you know it."
You got him. You got him. That's so great. So
you got to put on this stupid hat.
Well, I got plenty of hats over there. I got the LSU. I think he went to LSU or somewhere down there in the South over there.
oh,
He's
man.
fun to do.
He's fun.
When I was in the polling industry, I used to do him on calls just, because people wouldn't believe me. I go, well, I have an expert here. Well, you people don't know listen to John. You don't know what the hell you talk about. over there."
Not to make anybody lose their lunch, but what about RFK Jr.?
I can't do him.
Have you
It's
ever
not
done?
fair.
Have you
It's
ever
not
done a
fair to
Kennedy?
your vocal cords.
I also, that
What
would be
about
tough.
President Kennedy? Any Kennedy? I mean, but that's another generation.
That's-
obviously.
Yeah, nobody remembers Teddy.
Nobody
and he
re-
was a great
No.
one. You know?
Well, people don't remember Teddy. I guess he's our generation. People don't remember Teddy.
The only one I can do from that era is Nixon.
Oh, that's
From that era.
I wonder how many people would even get.
The Kennedys hated me, Teddy hated me. But the best politician was Lyndon Johnson. That guy was tough. Okay, and a great political operator. I called Lyndon all the time.
Who
Who-
got Nixon?
Who did press conferences sitting on the toilet?
LBJ.
Honest to God. he
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Press conferences?
Yeah,
Yes.
Well, he would have meetings with his staff, and he'd be on the
Oh,
bowl.
okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about press.
I don't know
Or
about a
maybe
press
maybe the press wasn't invited in.
But for you, choosing who you do in your act is very, very important.
Mhm.
One of my heroes in the late 80s, Larry Storch, was booked at Chuckles, a comedy club here on Long Island. And he was booked as a stand-up and he did impressions.
Mhm.
And it was the late 80s. But he came in and his first impression was Ronald Coleman, the actor. I know, you don't even know who that is.
I have no idea. who
Famous
that is.
actor from his generation. The whole audience sat there like, who is this guy?
When we started doing comedy at Dixon's in 1979, Dave Hawthorne had been around.
Ah,
He had been partners with Billy Crystal in 1971. And not only were the people in his act, they were all dead.
yeah.
Yeah.
He did Henry Fonda,
Yep.
Edwin.
I-
He'd say, remember Edwin, who's in a lot of movies? And people like, fuck no, we don't know who he is.
I was surprised. I did a show, and it was a younger crowd, and I was afraid they wouldn't know who Casey Kasem was, but they did.
That's because
They
they
re-
reran his show.
They reran the show.
Yeah, you keep the
You know
people
what?
alive.
That it could have gone either way. I thought you were going to say they knew who he was or they had no idea who he was. But what a great guy to impersonate because he was so distinct, you know.
So I got to tell you a funny quick story. Quick story. I went to see David Letterman with my wife in 1995, 30 years ago, 1995. And they picked the guy next to me to go on the show, right? They were sending this guy's pants across America on the back of a truck. So they took off his pants and they sent them on a truck, right? So I knew Carol Burnett was on the show and I knew David Copperfield was on the show. So my wife goes, if you had been picked, what would you have said? I said, I'd do impressions. I would have done Casey Kasem. Casey Kasem was the celebrity who officiated that segment.
Ah,
So he came out, he's like, well, we're going to send your pants across America. So could you imagine the look on their faces when I did Casey? And he's on the show.
wow.
Like, I couldn't believe I didn't get picked. The guy next to me could have changed the whole future.
That's
Wow,
now
that's a great
as
story.
a Casey Kasem impersonator,
Mhm.
you know the classic Casey Kasem rants and everything.
Absolutely.
So I don't want to do a thing about a goddamn
dog,
dog
yep.
dying. That song,
Yep.
okay, that song, now I'll never think of the name of it, was really a song about a dog that died.
Right.
That song was written by a guy that by some crazy coincidence was in a fraternity with a very good friend of mine. And the guy that wrote that song was originally in the original Sha Na Na.
Oh,
So
wow.
when I got to talk to him on the phone, I was like, and he loves jokes and everything. I said, that's so crazy. That's so wild about your song with Casey Kasem. I swear, he had no idea what I was talking about. And I mean, everybody in America.
Everybody heard that.
They
right?
were making copies of that.
It's on
long
YouTube.
be-
It's
It was
everywhere.
on cassette.
Yep.
Everybody in any studio, the Buddy Rich thing,
Yep.
the
Yep.
Casey Kasem, all the rants, like the engineers always pass that stuff
Sure,
around
sure,
to fuck
sure.
with everybody. And I said, you never heard that? It was so wild. And he got upset with me. He said, hey, man, it was about Dennis Wilson from the Beach Boys. It was his dog that died. And I'm laughing. He goes, man, that's about a dog dying. I'm like, let it go. It was 50 years ago. And Jesus Christ, that's just crazy. And anytime I hear Casey Kasem, I think you can't not smile when you think about
Yep.
that.
I always wanted Casey Kasem to cover a space launch. It's like, well, they fixed the problem and we're back to the countdown. T-minus 10, 9,
That-
all the way to number 1 and ignition.
Oh,
That would be
Oh.
great.
that's
That is
do you,
so.
do you do that in your act?
No, I just wrote that as what I never thought of that before.
You
So,
thought-
so we get
I just
a
did that
bit.
here.
we get a piece of that.
We get a piece of
We
that
get a
bit.
piece of
If
that.
it-
That's funny.
that's very
Especially
funny.
now because the
Don't worry, you'll
space
get your
thing-
cut. You'll get your piece.
the whole space thing is back. 2
Sure.
years ago or 5 years ago that wouldn't have worked. But now you
SpaceX
could go
and
on about the canceled again and tune in tomorrow and
Space has become so popular, they're lighting off rockets like it's the 4th of July.
you could put Carvel in anything. Like
Did you-
Carvel's
Did you
anything.
ever have to drop an impression that you liked, but the audience just didn't either remember the person.
Yes.
Or got mad at you?
Robin Leach.
Robin Leach.
So I got to tell you a really funny story. So last year was the 35th anniversary since I started comedy. My first show was at Governor's in 1989.
All right.
A big part of my act in 89 was Robin Leach, Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. I still have the song on my phone. So I was playing music on my phone. I pull into the Governor's parking lot. At that exact moment, that song popped up 35 years after I first performed at a Governor's.
Jesus.
Hello, I'm your host, Robin Leach. Welcome to Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
Now, why did you have to ditch it? Because nobody knew who it was anymore?
Older people will know. But even then, they haven't seen it. And
Right.
I don't know what it went off.
A lot of young
35,
people,
40 years ago.
A lot of young people watching our podcast are not going to get Robin Leach. He had a hugely successful show at Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous.
And what an idiosyncratic, whatever, a great voice to mimic.
Oh, he was fun to do. Now, in a last ditch effort to resurrect an old impression, I did Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, but I did Tony Soprano's house, right? And I'm like, this beautiful house in northern New Jersey, if you go to the basement, even the FBI can't record your conversations. A noisy water heater and thick walls make it impregnable to parabolics.
And so,
And nobody got it.
but
Nobody got it.
that works to me. That
How do
would
you
work
not
even
get
if you don't know who Tony, even if you don't know who Robin Leach is, that should
Yeah,
work.
it
you
should
know?
work, right? It didn't. It got 11 views.
Well,
I love it when an impression is so powerful that even if you don't know the person who's
It's
being
fun.
done,
It's like
it's
funny
still
anyway.
funny.
Right.
that is when you're really hitting it. And that sounds like that could work. Young people might not know that guy, but oh man. What impression do you think when you get to it in your act, you're like, oh, this is the one that kills everything. This is the one the audience is like the most.
So when I start to do impressions in my act, like The Sopranos always usually does well. And then when I get to, like, I do Barack Obama, I do Bill Clinton, I do Bush, I do Schwarzenegger, Al Pacino from Scarface is still pretty big. Adam Sandler, Bernie Sanders, and then Trump. I finish with Trump. And I do Casey Kasem also. So the whole bit of them is in the Viagra commercial, like if they were the Viagra spokespeople. So because Bob Dole was I got the idea because Bob Dole was the first politician, the original.
The first politician to have a problem getting an erection ever in the history of America.
But he did the commercial.
Do the Viagra commercial?
He did. That's how I got the idea. So I got the idea to do the Viagra commercial from that. And I did, well, what if other politicians? That was how it started. And then I just did.
No, wait. You guys pulling my leg, Bob Dole?
Bob Dole was the first one to do that.
Because when I think of him holding that
with the pencil. Well, that's how I got the idea.
Oh, Jesus.
For the Viagra, because he's holding the pencil talking about I go, this material right
due to a war injury in World War II.
Right. Which I don't like to go into because it's an injury and he's
right.
He was in the service. So
he was a hero.
But it's so,
But it's so ironic. A Viagra commercial would be so perfect for you now.
Well, you know what sucks is that
hold on. Let Peter feel that dead air.
Oh no, I'm not feeling dead air.
I keep getting ads for Viagra on my phone because the phone is on during my act, and I'm writing about. I don't need it. It's just an act. I don't actually need your product.
Have you ever heard of an impressionist named David Fry?
No, but it sounds familiar.
You got to Google him. He was
now that is a testament to how long ago
David Fry
was, because he was a very, very famous impressionist, and he's an impressionist, and he doesn't know that impressionist.
Yes, but he was on the Smothers Brothers all the time, and he did the presidents, and he was truly.
Oh, I may know who he is now.
Yeah.
Now that you said that, because I watch all those old Martin roast and that. I love that stuff.
Oh yeah,
I really do. That was an era of comedy that was classy.
Oh, unbelievable!
Absolutely. Oh, but you asked me who my first, who was my inspiration. The original cast of SNL, not the original, the 85.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, that cast, their impressions, the Billy Crystals, the Martin Shorts, and then my first time on stage, I was in my high school talent show. I did Rodney Dangerfield exclusively. So he was like the first impression I did on stage in the talent show. I just did Dangerfield.
All right.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
They have got to do a biopic on Rodney Dangerfield, right? They have to. Do you think they can? Do you think they can find somebody to be him?
I'd love to do it, and I'm available.
I mean,
They should. I can't believe they haven't made something already.
but it's so hard. You know, there was a comic, I think he died 10 years ago, Danny Stone. Remember?
Yeah, Danny
There's
Stone.
a guy named Danny Stone
Mhm.
who had the exact pipes. I don't know whether he
Mhm.
was from Queens, Long Island, whatever. When he spoke, he was Rodney. He was an
mhm,
impressionist and he
mhm.
wasn't trying to do it, but he was him. And they used to hire him to do commercials. And he sounded so much like him that they actually, I don't know if they made it, I think they actually made it a law that he would do a commercial. And at the end of the commercial, he'd say, and that's the truth, or my name's not Danny Stone.
I
So-
see.
so-
Right. He was that good. Yeah.
So people thought it was Rodney, you know. So
Well,
I think that'd be hysterical to try. You know, I just like to see the audition of 100 people trying to be
Sure.
Rodney, you know.
It's funny you mentioned that they have to authenticate it that way.
Yeah.
I told my friend, he believed me, right? So I told him that the nuclear launch codes were invented because my Ronald Reagan impression was so good that they were worried that I could call the Pentagon and order a nuclear strike. So the only way they could differentiate between me and him was the codes. So my friend believed me. Like, I came up with this story. I thought he was going to be like, you know, he believed.
You know,
He's like, well, you know, you do a good Reagan.
played in a band with Forever and Ever, went to school upstate at Syracuse or one of those schools. And on a Sunday night, they somehow wired into his radio, Chris Spates, they wired into his radio and had a microphone and all of a sudden broke in and announced that nuclear war had just started, like War of the Worlds, but just his radio. And he's, you know, sometimes he can be not the sharpest knife in the batch. And it was Sunday night, so he freaked out and he went to call home. But it was Sunday night, so everybody was calling home, so he couldn't get through. And that sealed the deal. Like, you moron! Oh my God, that's
But
just
that's a great practical joke.
That is
oh,
great.
that's a wonderful one.
Oh,
You know,
that's something. Wow.
But what was my Reagan thing is kind of a good, you know, it's a
well, it
gag.
doesn't speak highly of your
Of my
quality
character,
of
right.
No, of your friends. No,
Oh, no.
it speaks wonderfully. Of
Yeah, but I
mean-
that's
I
a
think-
great thing.
They're not too bright. What can I say? They're dumb guys.
He told a lot of jokes, Reagan. He was a funny.
Oh,
guy.
he told a lot of jokes.
He's a
I'm
funny
sitting
guy.
here and I'm always trying to add punchlines to jokes. Wouldn't it be funny? It's funny to me, and Jackie's going to let me have it. But you know that they created the nuclear codes because your voice was so similar to Reagan's, and then they had the nuclear codes, and I was so into it that I actually had eye surgery so that my retina scan would also match Ronald Reagan's, and I could still launch the nukes if I wanted to.
Now you do understand that is way too sophisticated for us, let alone the audience.
I think.
Oh, yeah. No,
think
I
hit,
understand
I think
how-
I hit with that.
I understand the
All right.
process.
What did he just do?
He
Was
just
a bullfighter?
This see what a great guest. It feels like 10 minutes, and it's been
We're already done?
we do 30 minutes, and then
How long are we on?
We're on 30 minutes.
And you are
Oh, wow.
welcome to come back as soon
Oh,
as
you
you
are
the-
perfect-
we
as
love
soon
you,
as
man.
perfect some of these
Can
impressions.
I plug my YouTube channel before I
Yeah,
go?
plug that. I will
Oh, you
lead
got a
into
plug?
your. Well,
Good.
I'm just going to tell
Okay.
everybody that we are at Paradise Studios in Massapequa.
Wait a minute. You did not plug your stupid college once during his whole interview. Did you go to his college?
No, he's
Which college?
self-taught. Stand Up University, where we produce
Oh.
new comedians. StandUpUniversity.com. Thank you.
I
That's
can't
the first
believe
time
I can't believe I led you
he gets
in.
bent out of shape every time I
But-
plug it.
But if I would have taken this class, I'd already be international headliner.
Well,
It'd
maybe
be-
you would have
it'd be
won the
unbelievable.
2025
So
Long
what
Island.
is your
laugh
your
off.
podcast you're
Wait.
promoting?
Oh, youtube.com. My handle is at Celebrity Impressionist, and same on Instagram, Celebrity Impressionist.
Hire this man.
Hire this man.
Hiya, this man.
Hysterically funny, but I have to say that we're doing this from Paradise Studios, Massapequa, Long Island. Any video needs you have, podcasting, this is the place to get it done. It's very professional.
When are we going to interview Bobby on the show?
We should
I
have
think
him on.
so. And all right, so as long as we're plugging away,
And we're also live on the network that is associated with Paradise Studios, and that's Strong Island Television. So let's just
Okay.
be clear.
okay.
Okay, now you want to plug the fact that the charges were dropped in the
I'm
case with
a
that
free man.
Vietnamese boy?
I'm a free man. I'm going back to work at Hyundai with all the South Americans.
Oh, no.
All the South
Okay,
Koreans,
all right.
whatever they are.
So
My
wrong.
website is jokeland.com. If you have any inkling to come see me, please go there. You can buy my autobiography and it's not my documentary. The documentary they made about me, Joke Man, is on Amazon Prime, and 6 or 7 people have watched it and they seem to like it. So please do it.
I just want to tell people to friend me on Facebook, and I'm selling a pamphlet on chlamydia.
Did you ever get rid of it? Did you ever get rid of it?
Yeah, I set you up for that.
No, I didn't.
So this has
if
been
you
our
want
show.
to email me to complain about Peter Bales or any of our guests, it's jokeland@aol.com. Yes, I'm still on fucking AOL. Kiss
Well,
my
that's
ass.
your first email. That nobody gets rid of an email address.
JOKELAND@AOL.com.
And you can also find me on MySpace.
And
because
soon we're going to know the truth about the Teddy Roosevelt
Yeah.
mystery.
Jackie's going to get some DNA. He thinks he's related to Theodore Roosevelt
Oh,
because his relatives were just basically whores.
Wow. Wow.
They said, how else could it happen?
Wow.
How else could it happen?
well, you're from.
Theodore Roosevelt's father was in Maine while Teddy was being born. His father went hunting in Maine and banged this woman. And 20 years later, the kid that they produced showed up in Oyster Bay and wound up working with Teddy Roosevelt at Sagamore Hill. And we're going to get DNA and prove that. That means Theodore Roosevelt is my illegitimate great uncle.
Wow.
All right. We will
Which would
clarify.
be so fun.
We're going to clarify this in a future episode. But let's get back to.
If for anybody wondering, that's why I refer to him as Uncle Teddy.
Uncle Teddy. I was gonna.
Ladies and
It's
gentlemen,
great to have you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for
thank
having
you
me.
for watching our episode. John Santo, comedian, impressionist, Jackie the Joke Man Martling. I am Peter Bales, and we will see you next time
Remember Granny?
on Stand Up Memories.